Welcome to the Muscle Building Mastery Podcast, where guys that want to build muscle come to learn how to do it properly. We understand that there's more to building muscle than mindlessly throwing weights around and chugging mass gainer shakes. We're not interested in quick fixes or anabolic assistance. We're interested in mastering the art, science and skill set required to stack on real muscle and strength. My name's Andy Clements, and for the last 12 years I've devoted my life to figuring out how guys like us who don't have amazing genetics, don't have 5 hours a day to spend in the gym, and don't want to take steroids as a shortcut can build insane amounts of muscle and strength in weeks and months, not years and decades. This podcast is the result of all the lessons I've learned along the way, and it will give you the blueprint to building more muscle in less time. To get you started, head to www.musclebuildingmastery.net to download your free 6-week workout plan. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Andy Clements. Welcome back to another episode of the Muscle Building Mastery Podcast. I'm super excited to have you guys here. Today we're going to talk a little bit about a really interesting and a really important topic when it comes to muscle building, and that's accountability. Now, a big part of my job as a coach, as a one-on-one coach for the last 8 years or so, for guys and girls that want to build more muscle, is not what you would think it would be. I think the most valuable part of my job as a coach with one-on-one people is not the training knowledge that I'm giving these people. It's not the diet plans that I'm giving these people. It's not the workout plans I'm giving these people. It's not the sleep guides. It's not the the motivational stuff. It's none of that stuff. It's none of the technical stuff. It's none of the stuff that's really the specialized knowledge, that you got to learn. None of that stuff is the most valuable stuff. The most valuable part of my job as a coach, for somebody hiring me as a coach, right, or hiring anybody as a coach, is something that you don't have to learn as a coach. It's just done by the act of being there, okay? And this is accountability. The accountability is by far the most valuable part of you hiring any coach or having any part of some external help, in any kind of thing you do, especially muscle building. So, for an example, time after time after time, and I've got so many case studies I can share with you. I'll try and think of some that I can share with you off the top of my head. But time after time, clients of mine over the years have tried for months and months and months, and sometimes years, like I'm talking like 3, 4, 5 years in some cases, to build muscle, and had either zero success or very close to zero success. Now, within weeks of contacting me, and I'm not exaggerating here, literally within weeks of contacting me, they have their best ever physique. Now, yes, is there a component of me being able to point them in the right direction, me being able to say, yeah, you need to fix this about your training, yeah, you need to fix this about your diet, yeah, you need to fix this about your sleep, about your nervous system, about this, that, and the other? Yes, of course there's an element of that. But the most valuable piece that these people were missing when they were trying and they were trying and they were trying and they were learning, they were doing things like listening to podcasts like this and going on the internet and trying to learn more knowledge, but they still couldn't get the results. The most valuable thing that happened to them when they contacted me was that I was there to hold them to account. Now, accountability simply means making sure that they do the work. It simply means holding them accountable and holding them responsible for their own results, okay? So I am not the best coach in the world. This isn't a podcast for me to brag about how my skills as a coach. This is not even about me as a coach. This is just about me sharing some of the experiences that I've had as a coach, right? And this, so the fact that these people got the best results they've ever had within weeks of contacting me isn't about me, okay? Now, I just happen to have the tools to be able to point them in the right direction so they can get results even faster. But this is not about me. This is about them being held to account, because all I did in this aspect was I held them to account. I made sure that every single day, every single week, and every single month that they were working with me, they hit their targets. So, like in the last episode of the podcast, if you've not listened to it, we talked about box ticking, or the 2 episodes ago, sorry, we talked about box ticking. Or it might have been the last episode. Anyway, we talked about box ticking, and essentially what the podcast was about was that muscle building isn't about these flashy things. It's not about these flashy exercises. It's about ticking some very simple boxes every single day and being consistent with it. So the best way to be consistent with the very simple things being, hitting your workouts and training hard enough and progressing your numbers and, eating the right foods and sticking to your diet and hydrating and all the stuff that you need to do, right? The biggest way to stay consistent is to have somebody to hold you accountable to them. So this prevents you falling off track. It prevents your subconscious mind, which I remind you, 95% of who you are is your subconscious mind. It's not conscious. Your conscious thought is only actually 5% of your conscious mind. So if you, with your 5% of your conscious mind, tell yourself, oh, this time is the time I'm gonna build muscle. This time's the time I'm gonna really stick to my diet. I'm gonna really hammer it. I'm gonna really get strong. I'm gonna be consistent as hell. Then that can carry a certain amount of energy for maybe a few days. But then as soon as life starts happening, your 95% of your subconscious and unconscious mind will kick in, and this automatic program will kick in, and you'll end up going back to what you know, right? Unless you've got somebody to hold you account. So regardless of what happens in life, I mean, obviously emergencies happen and things take priority sometimes, but most of the time, regardless of what's happening in life, regardless of what you've got on with work, regardless of what's going on with a family, regardless of what's going on with relationships, regardless of what is going on externally, if you've got somebody to hold you to account and make sure that these very simple things get done every single day without fail, you will see results. And you will be amazed, like literally amazed at how fast you see results. And you'll probably, like, when you start doing this, you'll probably be annoyed at yourself for not getting the accountability partner or some external or even internal accountability method earlier, because the results will happen that fast for you. And, that I don't feel like that's an exaggeration in the slightest. So that's literally it. You just need somebody to help you keep ticking them boxes daily. So if you go back and listen to the podcast I talked about, I think I titled it something like "Why You Should Not Be Doing BS fancy flashy social media exercises in the gym," and we talk about what kind of boxes you need to tick daily, and we talk about the what, right, and the what you need to do. This is how you do it, right? This is how you do it. You need to get some sort of accountability. Now, personally, for me, my story is that I got a training partner, right? So for years, I trained with people here and there, but mostly I trained on my own. For a very, very long time, I trained on my own. And when I got a training partner, and not just any training partner, like a training partner that was very, very good at what he did, he was very intense in the workouts, and he had a lot of knowledge and all that kind of stuff. I stopped skipping my workouts all of a sudden because I had an appointment with somebody at the gym, right? Now, I wasn't paying the guy. We were training together. We were kind of at the same level. We were pushing each other forward. It was a really good match. But all of a sudden now, if I was... I was scheduled to train on a Saturday, for example, or a Sunday, and I wanted to stay in and watch the football, or I wanted to stay in and do something that felt more comfortable or felt easier, then because I'd arranged to train with this guy, I was getting my ass in the gym because I didn't want to let him down, and he was my external accountability, because if it got to 10 o'clock on a Sunday when we arranged to train at 10 o'clock on a Sunday, we'd do pull 10 o'clock every Sunday, and if it got to 10 o'clock on a Sunday and I wasn't at the gym, even if I was late, he would just be like, he'd start training without me. It's like you're either here or you're not. You either want to do this or you don't. This is the attitude we both had. If one of us was late, it's like, look, okay, that's fine, but you're gonna have to jump in cold because we ain't waiting. So we that made us accountable. That made us like, right, okay, we want this. We're prioritizing this. So we stopped skipping the workouts. We were less likely to sit there on Sunday morning and think, oh, I'll do it this afternoon, or I'll do it tomorrow, or and then you're pushing things back, and then you're half-assing your workout, so you're dragging yourself to the gym on the Monday morning doing the workout you should have done on the Sunday, and then you're half-assing it, and you're doing like 50% of your intensity, and you're really not having a good time, and you're just trying to get to the end of it, and as a result of that, the results that I got, and the results that we both got over that period of probably 3 years that we were training together, went up massively. We both got a lot bigger. We both got a lot stronger. Like the weights that we were lifting when we first started training together, are laughable compared to the weights that we were lifting towards the end of training together. And I think the end of us training together was just like COVID, because we kind of just had to stop training because the gym's closed. But the results skyrocketed. for both of us, and it was really awesome because we could also like share knowledge, because we were both really passionate about the gym, and we could share knowledge with each other. So like show each other things that we'd learned, like, oh, like I was watching this guy doing this thing the other day, like, what do you think about this? Like, yeah, that's cool. I was watching this, I was doing this, I was doing some reading on this system, and blah blah blah. And we could share knowledge about diet, and knowledge about training, knowledge about nervous system, knowledge about digestive system, knowledge about all the different areas of the body, and sleep and recovery, and all the things that we're interested in that could help us build more muscle. And as a result of that, we became more conscious, became more knowledgeable, and we ended up getting better results. Now, that's a really, really cool way of doing it. So if you can get a training partner like that you are onto a winner, because you're not spending any money because you've got somebody with you that can help you to progress, and you can help each other to progress, and it's a good match, it's fair exchange, right? And B, it's just gonna really, really help you. So that's what happened to me personally, and obviously with my clients, like that, there was I'm trying to think of the best example here. Sam was a really good example, I think, because he was trying to build muscle for a long time, and didn't end up. He tried a number of different times, didn't end up getting quite the results that he wanted, and then the last time when he started training as my client and PTing with me, he ended up getting the best results he's ever got, and it was like 10 to 12 weeks, in, and his physique completely transformed. And I know this is audio, so I can't show you the before and after pictures, but just take my word for it, like, it was ridiculous. And he carried on, like, he's not stopped. He got his equipment over lockdown, and now the gyms are open and stuff. Me and him are actually training together, so we're doing our workouts together now. And it's really cool, to see his progress. Like, he's now lifting 3-4 times the weight he was lifting when he first started back last year, and things are really, really, really looking up for him, and the main reason for that, yes, he worked really, really hard, but he also had me there keeping him accountable for every single workout, keeping him accountable to his diet, keeping him accountable to his sleep and his rest and his stress management, and that's a massive part of it. And there's so many case studies I can give you, like Lauren, the girl that I trained that won the bodybuilding show to 2018. I want to say 2019 maybe. I can't remember 100%. But anyway, I trained a girl called Lauren who won a bodybuilding show, and she had tried to do the bodybuilding show thing before, and she'd done the bodybuilding show. Like, she had a coach and things like that, but she'd not really made the impression she wanted to make. So she was like, I want to. She approached me and she was like, right, okay, I want a coach. I want to be able to compete this bodybuilding show. I was like, okay, bodybuilding show is not really like the level I normally do. I normally like help more kind of beginners, but like we'll work towards this. We'll see what we can do. So it was a new thing for me as well. So I was figuring it all out at the same time. And we ended up, I was like half coaching her online, half coaching in person. So I would see her maybe once or twice a month in the gym for a personal training session, and then the rest of it would be online. And because it was like half online, I made a real big effort. I was like, right, okay, we're doing a formal check-in once a week when I'm going to get on a video call with you, get on the phone with you. I made all these check-in sheets, and and we just did all the accountability stuff that you see all the online coaches doing. Where she had to be accountable to me every single day. So it was like a Google Drive kind of thing, where it updates in real time. So it was like every single day, she's got to update her weight. She's got to give me the notes on how the day went. She's got to give me notes on how the workout went, just like the Cliff Note version. She's got to send me videos of her in the gym, doing exercises, so I can see her form on her top sets, so I can give her feedback on her form, all that sort of stuff, So there's a whole range of different benefits for that sort of stuff, but one of the biggest things is just accountability. If you know that you've got somebody on the other end of that phone that you've got to send videos to of your workout, not only are you going to get in the gym in the first place and do the workout, but you're going to make sure that you're doing the workout to the best of your ability, because none of us want bad feedback from other people. We all want sort of on some level approval from our peers, right? We all want on some level approval from those around us. And as a coach, as someone in a position of relative authority and on the subject of bodybuilding, as a coach, or bodybuilding, not necessarily bodybuilding, but muscle building, as a coach, then for Lauren, it was probably pretty important to her that she put something in front of me that was relatively passable at least, or or not necessarily impressive. That's maybe the wrong word, but something that I would say, yeah, that's good. So she's not going to just like mindlessly start throwing weights around without any form or any thought of execution. And equally, she's not going to be backing off on her weights massively. So like doing weights that's way too light for her, because she knows like before she does that the first thing I'm going to say is like, why are you lifting so light? Like you need to be pushing yourself. If you're going to be getting on stage in however many months, you need to be pushing yourself. And so that was the process that we followed. We literally we did the videos, we did the check-in sheets, we got on the phone and we checked in at least twice a week, and a lot of times more. A lot of times we're in contact every single day, and so the accountability was just always there. There was a lot of the time, especially leading up to the shows, it was like daily contact. Like I was in contact every single day. Like, how's things going today? Do we need to make any changes? What's this? What's the stress level like? How's your sleep? Blah, 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 blah. And it's just accountability. And it's just having that level of accountability is so, so, so powerful. Like I say, like all of the stuff that I can teach people, all of the stuff that I can help them, none of it is as valuable as the principle of accountability in my mind. And so that's why I wanted to make a podcast specifically about holding yourself accountable, or getting somebody or something to hold you accountable. So there's 4 ways that I've got written down here that I want to share with you to get some sort of accountability in your life. Because if you're listening to this right now and thinking, that's cool, but I don't have anybody or anything to hold me accountable. And I understand, because I've for a lot of years I had nobody to hold me accountable either, even though I was the accountability person for other people, because I was a coach. I didn't have a coach myself and all that kind of stuff. So there's 4 ways of finding some kind of accountability in your life, so you can progress and keep ticking the right boxes every single day to move forward with your muscle building goals. So the first way is to get a coach. Now, this is the most obvious way, and this is the way that most people choose. Now, a coach, the downside of that is obviously it's going to be the most expensive option, right? Now, and the cheaper you go on the coach front, the more budget you go on the coach front, the worse quality coach you're going to get as a rule, right? Now, I'm not throwing stones at anybody here. I'm not trying to call anybody out particularly. It's not my style. But I do think that if you're not willing to if you want to get a coach, you're not willing to pay for a good coach, then you're probably going to get a bad coach, or an average coach. But they will hold you accountable. That's the most basic principle. If you get a coach, then they definitely, if they don't hold you accountable, they're not really worth anything. So that's the first way, is to get a coach. And if you get a really good coach, obviously you've got the added benefits of they know the stuff about training, they know stuff about nutrition, they know the stuff about sleep and recovery and stress management. And if you get a really good coach, they're not going to mess your body up. If you're doing something like a bodybuilding show, or you're just trying to build more muscle for the beach or whatever it is, they're not going to mess your body up by eating ridiculous types of food at ridiculous times and messing up your gut microbiome and doing all this stuff, right? They're going to know what they're doing and going to help you do things that suit your body. So getting a coach is a really, really smart thing to do. But obviously that's a financial decision for you. So if you can afford that, and if you've got the finances for that, and it's not going to stress you out by trying to afford the coach's fee every month, that's a good decision. But if on balance you think that's going to actually really stress me out, being able to try and find the money for this coach every month, it's probably not worth doing, because it's going to the stress it's going to cause you physiologically it's going to have an adverse effect, right? Because you've got to find the money to pay the coach. So that might be not the right option for you. But if you have the money, I'd absolutely recommend getting a coach. You have the money and you want to find yourself some sort of accountability. Now, the second way of accountability is to join a group or a challenge. Now, a group or a challenge often has a lower price point if you're doing it in some sort of organized thing. So, for example, when I launch my groups and my challenges, which will be later on this year, I'm going to be launching like the 6 weeks to mass challenge, right? At some point this year, to go along with the 6 weeks to mass blueprint that I'm giving away free at the minute anyway. So I'm going to hold people accountable to the workout programs given away for free there. Now, it's going to have a much lower price point than it would be to work with me personally. But the added benefit that you're going to get of that is not only am I going to be holding you accountable, or somebody, if other people have got tons of challenges around, you can join anybody's challenge or group. But when you're in a group setting like that, not only are you going to get that person to hold you accountable that's leading the group, but everybody else in the group is going to hold you accountable by default anyway as a byproduct, right? Because they're all along for the ride as well. And when you're in these Facebook groups or whatever group you're in, online, you can see other people posting their results or posting their progress or posting their gym videos or posting their, I don't know, the meals, whatever they're posting, and you can see that everybody else is doing the work. And so that adds that extra level of accountability to make sure that you're doing the work as well, because you're part of this group. And if you're not doing the same work as everybody else, you're going to start feeling like you're falling behind and all the rest of the stuff, right? So that's going to add an extra layer of accountability to help make sure you do the work that you know you need to do in order to build the muscle that you want to build. So let's get a coach and join a group or a challenge, the first two. Number three, and the way that I chose when I first got started with this kind of stuff, is finding a training partner. Now, this kind of just fell into my lap because my training partner actually saw what I was doing online, liked the kind of way I was doing things, and liked the knowledge that I was possessing and the way I was coaching people and things like that, and he thought that we might be a good fit to train together, so he contacted me, right? So I ended up being really, really lucky in that regard. But if you want a training partner and you don't have one, then reach out to somebody and just, if you go to your local gym, then just, get talking to people and make friends and things like that, and see if anybody wants to train together. Or find a friend if you've got a friend that goes to the gym as well, and see if you can link up your schedules and get some training sessions in. It doesn't have to be every single session. A lot of the times when I was training with my training partner, it wasn't every single session. We a lot of times we did 2 sessions a week together, and they were the big sessions. The big sessions in my book are pull and legs. So that's when you're lifting the heaviest. That's when you got to do the most taxing work on the nervous system. So pull and legs were the 2 training sessions that we used to do together. And so that's the third way, is to find a training partner. Now, just have a look out there. See if you can find a training partner. See if you can find someone to train with. Even if you're in a group, even if you've got a coach, having a training partner is a good way to add an extra layer of accountability on top of that, to make sure that you're accountable to train on this day at this time. Now, number 4, the last way, and this is only if you really can't, there's absolute no way you can do the first 3, then do the 4th, but maybe do the 4th anyway as an extra layer of accountability. But if possible, do one of the first 3. But if you absolutely can't do any of the first 3 for whatever reason, make sure you do the 4th, because the 4th ain't going to cost you anything, and the 4th ain't going to make you get out of your comfort zone and go make friends with people or contact somebody that you don't want to contact, right? Because I know I'm quite an introverted person, so I kind of understand that, but number 4 is to make yourself accountable to yourself. Now this, again, it's a little bit more not so solid ground, because the 95% of our subconscious mind has a really, really good way of talking us out of our goals when we aren't feeling so good. And everybody knows this, right? You just, if you wake up on a Monday morning feeling really motivated, and then by the time you get to Thursday afternoon and the beers and the pizzas calling you at home, then you can understand that the subconscious mind starts to take over at that point. But to make yourself accountable is just to do the process, that I described, that I did with Lauren when she was doing a bodybuilding show, right? Do that process, but make yourself your own coach. So make your own check-in sheets. Go on Google Drive and make your own check-in sheets, and put boxes, all the boxes you need to tick, and then go on and tick the boxes, and then cut, and then do the whole thing for the week. Review the week, and then go and copy the sheet and do it on another sheet. Or if you don't want to do Google Drive, then just do it on paper. Buy a a nice trick that I like to use quite a lot is to buy a whiteboard, put it up in your bedroom, or in your living room, or wherever you want to, wherever you're gonna look at it. If you've got a home gym, put it up in your home gym, whatever. And write the things that you need to be accountable on the whiteboard, and then update the whiteboard. Don't let the whiteboard start collecting dust. Update it, and stay accountable to it. And that's not external accountability as such, because you're just being accountable to yourself. So it's, again, be aware it's not quite as powerful, but it's still pretty useful in terms of a reminder of accountability. So they're the 4 ways of accountability that I like to use. But the biggest message that I want you guys to take away from this podcast is just to be accountable, have some level of accountability in your life, and you will massively find that really, really helps your muscle building goals. It's not going to help you figure out what you need to do, but it's going to help you actually take action on the things that you know you need to do. So I hope that was useful, guys. And if you need to know what you need to do, then if you need to know a workout plan to get started, head to www.musclebuildingmastery.net now to grab your free 6 weeks to mass blueprint workout plan to get you started with your muscle building training. And I hope you enjoy. So thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you next time on the Muscle Building Mastery podcast. If you're ready to stop wasting time in the gym and start mastering the skill of muscle building, go check out www.musclebuildingmastery.net to download your free 6-week muscle building workout plan. I have specifically formulated this workout plan to take you through the 3 stages of mastering your body, layering on a more advanced training methodology each week as you progress. That means that regardless of where you are with your training right now, this plan will push you forward and help you stack on more muscle and strength in just 6 weeks. So head to www.musclebuildingmastery.net now to grab your free 6-week workout plan.